Hello students, welcome to the last session in the distributed web-based systems. Here we are going to see a number of points here which you can see the HTTP, SOAP, SOA, REST and web services. Now let us see what are these exactly. See HTTP and SOAP comes under the connection procedures in the web-based systems. SOA is a service-oriented architecture where we can utilize, reuse the existing structure of the data, architectures we can say. REST is having a special feature to adopt that and to overwrite on the existing features. Web services are already we know the services which are provided by the web-based systems. So whatever it may be like database type or discovery type, integrations type, everything comes under web services. Now coming to the first topic, that is the connections. See, in the connections we can connect web-based systems in two ways, that is HTTP and SOAP. HTTP, hypertext transfer protocols, are utilized as a client-server communications where client can ask for a particular request and the server is responding to that. So we can get the data, we can put the data, we can post the data from the server. So all these are possible with the HTTP. Hypertext transfer protocol, which is communication between the client and the server, as we have mentioned just now. It is very simplest form of communication with respect to the client server architecture. Here we can have HTTP connections, methods and messages. Coming to the connections, this is very easy. This is totally based on the transmission control protocol. When a client starts its request, immediately client switch and client web proxies will start connecting with the web server with respect to the TCP communication. Connection establishment will be done with the TCP. Now when it starts with the connection establishment, the reverse next process will be the methods. So whatever the methods we are highlighting over there will be the next one. So the operations which we are going to perform are head. Head is nothing but what is the header of that particular document. I mean, for what purpose we are writing that document will be done. Next, get is to retrieve the document. Next, put is to write something onto the document. Post is to provide that data from the server to the client. Next, delete. If we want to delete a particular document, then we have to give the delete request to the server. So these are few methods which we have to call from the client side to get the data or is to put the data, to post the data, whatever. Next is the messages. See, coming to the message types, between the client and server, we have to go with this format over here. We should have what operation we are performing, what is the reference, I mean the delimiters we are forwarding over there, and the version. Now coming to the message format, we should have the message header name and the values. Message header name and the values. In this format, our messages will be available in the HTTP messages. Now next one is the SOAP, Simple Object Access Protocol. See, this is nothing but a very simple one where we are going to communicate with the web services. Okay, the previous one is with respect to the TCP connection establishment and we are flowing with the messages between the client and the server. This is, SOAP will be object oriented type. Totally it's like object oriented type where we are going to communicate with the interoperable services. So interoperable services will be like we can have different types of objects over there which are not restricted at all. So you must use only this object. No, we can go with any type of object. All the objects will be available in the web services obviously. So we are going to communicate with the web services using SOAP, right? And this is consisting of two main points. First one is a envelope part and inside the message. So envelope is nothing but the header part. As we all know, the header part is optional of course, but this is called as an envelope. The second part is called as the body content of the actual message, whatever we are going to provide the service to that particular web-based system. Now SOA is a service oriented architecture. We should not get confused with the simple object access protocol, that is with respect to the web services. This is with respect to the integration processes. See, integration processes is nothing but if we have a particular software, that software components we are going to reuse it, reutilize it to get a particular new interface. Okay, so we will be having a particular interface and we will be taking that interface and we will be adopting that, and we will reuse that and we will go with a new version over there. Okay, so these are like microservices content. It allows us to go with the n number of applications over here by utilizing the existing services to form new type of applications. And this is very important to know the system about the decentralized systems also. This is possible with the decentralized systems also, like peer-to-peer entities kind of things where there is no client-server architecture also. This will be working over there. And coming to the next one, these are package functionalities will be available. As we have mentioned, interoperable services, we can communicate with that also, because this is service oriented, not even object oriented, this is service oriented. Now these are the few characteristics. The interoperability is possible. Okay, interoperability is nothing but if I have mentioned, if I have a road transport, so this road transport can allow the different vehicles over there, four-wheelers, two-wheelers, a bicycle, the different kinds of physical entities are possible over there, right? In the similar way, my network should be available with different platforms of the data, different configurations. So everything has to be encapsulated at one place, right? So that is what is the interoperability concept. Next is as we have mentioned, encapsulation and discoveries, reusabilities, everything integrations. And next one is it facilitates quality of the service. Okay, this is very important point, depending on the service level agreement. So once if we have the licensed version service level agreement, this particular SOA will be giving all the services which are on the quality based. Next, these are loosely coupled services, and next this can provide the transparency and the ease of maintenance. Now SOA has two important roles. First one is a service provider and service consumer. Okay, it can act in the two ways. These are the two roles of SOA. It can provide the service, it can consume the service also. Now REST. REST is nothing but representational state transfer. See, representational we are mentioning. So representational is nothing but we are going to work on the web services. We are going to work on the web services on the existing web services. So this is having built operations with the existing systems, and we are going to add the new features by adopting that total structure. We are going to adopt it, and we are going to have a new system with the features of internet HTTPs. Okay, so HTTP versions will be there here. Representational, we are mentioning representational means existing system. We are going to adopt it and we are going to add the new objectives to that, new features to that with features of HTTP also, internet HTTP also. This HTTP is not possible with the service oriented categories. REST has that capability. And now by this we can go with the new standards, frameworks and technologies also. REST is very latest version over there. And next is REST is having a common structure, that is building web based system with respect to the APIs also. It has capability to work with the APIs and the HTTPs and adaptability on the existing systems, and it can go with the building of the frameworks, technologies. So all these features are possible with the REST, representational state transfer. These are few advantages of REST, where we have resource based systems and a simple interface, familiar constructs. See, these familiar constructs are like we are going to deal with HTTP, right? So HTTP operations we are going to highlight over there. So whatever the operations methods we can say, get, post, delete, etc. methods, those constructs I want to include in this. Next, communication wise, the REST is totally dependent on the client server and also HTTP. Now the web services. Web services are very simple. The services which are available and provided in the web, right? So these are totally dependent on two important points, that is UDDI and WSDL. UDDI is nothing but Universal Discovery Description Integration. So this is a layout of the database where you have to allow all the web services clients to browse for the relevant service. Okay, now UDDI, as we have mentioned, this is Universal Description, Discovery and Integration Standard. The next version of this UDDI is a Web Services Definition Language. So here we are going to describe all the services by the Web Services Definition Language. So this definition language will be having all the metadata of your existing web services internally. This is the principle of web service, where we are going to have a client machine and server machine. Client machine will be having RPC stub, obviously that is a client stub. From there I am going to communicate with the subsystem. See, this subsystem has a capability to communicate directly from client machine to the service server machine directly with respect to the SOAP. And next is, this is the stub is connecting with the WSDL, Web Service Description Language, where it has all the services available which are with the definitions. I mean the metadata of the web services can be available here. This is a type of directory, we can say folder, we can say, where we have all the web services enabled at one place. Okay, so this services, whatever the services I can provide will be available here. So even my server will be knowing that, means my server will publish that to us. So if you have any doubts in this, please be free to contact anytime in the college. Thank you.